Jay Pepper Martins, the CTO for the association, and our guest today is Adam Gothelf from PropDisc. Adam,
Hey guys, thanks for having me, Jay. Appreciate it.
of course.
Yep, this is very exciting to be quote unquote back in the saddle here with Disclosure's product. Um, so just off the top, for anybody there who wants to reach me for anything, feature request, etc., you can reach me at adam@propdisc.com or our get help button here, and I'll try to tap on that again towards the end just to make sure everybody sees that. But we love chatting with all of our users. It helps us grow. So anyway, we're sitting on the website now. As you can see, this is propdisc.com. And essentially, we are back. It's myself and one of my co-founders from disclosures.io. We have built PropDisc, and it is a new, but probably familiar in certain ways, disclosure management tool, but definitely improved. And our goal with this is just a local independent business. Fully owned, funded, etc., just by myself and Paul, my co-founder. And that's the plan for this one. We are just tailoring this for the San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California, because as you guys may or may not know, this pre-listing disclosure package creation and sharing is a unique workflow to Northern California. And there's lots of great things that we can do with the product. So with all of that said, I'm going to dive into the product here, and I'll walk through nearly everything, but I'll probably skip some in the weeds types of features. But if you need help with those, we have a little support center. You can ping us here, like I mentioned, and I'm also available to come out to offices or just even demo one-on-one if you guys need help getting going. So happy to do all
We're
of that.
really glad to hear that you're going to keep this thing local, Adam. Of course, it was a great concept that you brought to us. What was it, back in 2016? Is that how
Yeah,
far back this idea goes?
2017. Yeah, that was
2017.
January 2017.
Yeah, and front loading is specific to NorCal, but it's also starting to grow in awareness. And but I'm glad you're going to keep it local and you're going to keep running it out of the San Francisco Bay Area. That makes us really happy to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were always kind of torn between trying to build the product out so it applied to realtor workflows around the country versus going deep and tailoring it for the Bay Area and Northern California. So anyway, that's what we get to do. And to me and Paul, that feels like the right thing to be doing. And there's a lot of opportunity there. So um, anyway, the way you get started is you can log into your SFMLS dashboard and you can click the single sign-on button, or you can come directly to our website here, propdisc.com. And I'm in a logged in state here, but where it says my name, there would just be a button that says log in. So you would click that. And the way to that you get into PropDisc now is with a one-time code. And at first, that sounds somewhat annoying, but in practice, it's actually way easier than having a password that you need to memorize because once you sign in, it keeps you logged in. I could close out this browser window, I could quit Chrome, which I'm on, and I could reopen it. And then every time I come back to PropDisc, I'm still going to be logged in. And once you're here, you would just click on your name and then you would click on properties. And this takes you to your main dashboard where you have all of your listing sides, your buyer side packages. So these are packages that were shared to you as a buyer agent, and then also your archived packages. Before I go too far, I'm just going to back up to the main website page. And I just want to highlight that we have the mobile app that's live in the iPhone App Store right now. We have a mobile engineer who's building out Android as we speak and adding some additional features into the mobile app. So we should have Android definitely before the end of the year, probably within a month or so. But anyway, this is the mobile. This is where you get the mobile app. So there's a link right on the main website page there. Okay, so back into the product here. So if you're familiar with using a disclosure management platform, this should look pretty familiar to you, and you should kind of know how to navigate it. You've got your listing sides, buyer sides archived. If you need to create a package, it's right here. I'm going to skip going through this flow, but this is just a little step that a little stepper that walks you through. Enter the property address. You can enter information that you want to appear on your cover sheet. So your preferred escrow officer, the escrow number if you've opened a pre-sale escrow. You can add instructions. You could add agents to the cover sheet and to the property. And then once you click complete, you end up with one of these little property cards here. Before I dive into that, I want to highlight one key integration that we have. So we built a one-way sync from your disclosures.io account into your PropDisc account. And this makes it easy for you to switch over and start using PropDisc today for your listings while still receiving packages for buyers that were created by the listing agent in disclosures.io. So we realize that not everybody's going to switch over all at once. It's going to take some time. So when you click on import from disclosures.io, the first time you do it, you're going to be asked for your credentials for your disclosures.io account. Once you enter them, it will remember your credentials and it will create this sync that goes from disclosures to PropDisc. It does not go from PropDisc to disclosures. So keep that in mind. And you can import all or some, or all or certain packages. But once you import one, it will stay synced. So meaning PropDisc will check your disclosures.io account for updates on that package. It'll also actually check your account for your disclosures account for new packages too. So you would just select the packages that you want, click on sync, and it'll start that importing process. And quickly on that, I may have some more questions, I imagine, from the audience towards the end. But it works in a way where the listing agent on disclosures.io, when they make an update to the package, it will automatically be pulled in to PropDisc. PropDisc, it's not instant though, but PropDisc checks for updates made. And then the packages are marked with new flags and so on and so forth. Okay, so we'll park that topic for a minute and we'll jump into a package. So we just created a disclosure package here. And when you do that, you end up with one of these. So this is the main package page. We're looking at this as if we are listing agents. So this one, so we're just pretending we're the listing agent for 427 16th Avenue. And right up here on the top, you've got your basic property information, which you entered. You also have the share package button. So you have a couple different ways to share. You can just share via email, and you can do this in the mobile app as well. You choose the role that you want, and you can share to multiple people. You also have the get share link. So right now, this share link can be just sort of like open to the public. So if you copy this and just paste it into the MLS, for example, and the agent only remarks, as agents hit that link, they'll be required to enter their name and email and phone number, and then they'll be dropped into the package. Alternatively, you can set a passcode to this link, and this will lock it down so that anybody who hits the link will have to ask you the agent, or you could also post this in the MLS if you wanted. Um, they'll have to ask you for the password to get access to the package. And that's the most secure way to quote unquote like lock down or just wall off the package. So that link, if it happens to float around online, nobody can get into it unless they have the password with it. So after you've shared it, you'll have this viewers tab here. So this will give you people's phone numbers. You can edit their roles here in case maybe a buyer agent marks themselves as a buyer instead of a buyer agent. You can change that here. You can remind people, and you can also remove people there. I'm going to jump back to the files page real quick. So this is the list of all the documents you've added to the package. We have all the required tools in here. So if if you need to add a stamp to the package, for example, or if you need to annotate in any way here, we just have the stamp feature. So you just drag it and click where you want it. And then if you click on the stamp, you can update what the stamp says. We have a highlighting feature. So if you want to highlight anything, you could do that. We also have redact. So you can take out things, sensitive information, and you can also add text, and you can change the color of that font to anything you want here or the size. Discard those changes. We'll jump back out. We have a split feature, so really nice splitting option. I'm not going to go through all this, but you have various ways to split, either checking page by page or enter a page range, and then you would click on save pages as new, and then you can add a name to it, and then you go through the whole document. So if you have a large document you need to split, you could do that there. Rename, replace. These are all probably pretty obvious ones. After you've made changes to the package, if you want to notify the viewers, we have that button up here. So this will send an email to everybody who has access to the package, notifying them of what changes have been made and pointing them back to the package. And then those updates are flagged as new. And if we're just thinking about the import from disclosures.io for a minute. So if we have a buyer package and a listing agent does this in disclosures.io, you'll get those updates into PropDisc as the buyer agent. We have the DocuSign feature here. So you can start a DocuSign envelope from right from here, and you can pull all the documents in. That's the same on the buyer side packages. We have an incredible new feature that's going to come out in early 2026. And that's going to be the auto placement of signature tags. It's not going to be in DocuSign. We're going to have our own signing feature, but essentially it's going to place all the little initials and all the signing, and the whole experience will be in PropDisc. So as a buyer agent or as the listing agent, you could click sign here and you'll be able to get all of these documents signed, and the AI will place the signature tags for you throughout the entire package. So that's coming up soon. I'm spilling the beans on that one early because that was the most requested feature that we had in our disclosures.io days that we never built because it was just very tailored for the Bay Area and we were trying to expand. But anyway, we're launching that one. Going along the top over here, we have reorder. So you can change the order of documents. And then we also have upload. So you have different ways to pull in documents. One of them is an email specific to this package. Okay, so we've got all our documents that we want, or at least for the time being, into this package. We auto-generate the cover sheet. And You have the front page with the photo. You have your preferred escrow info. You'll have your instructions, and then you'll have your table of contents, and then the signature block. Okay, so let's go look. Actually, sorry, before I move off this, I was going to move to buyer package, but let's go through the rest of these tabs here. So we have the activity feed. So this is a pro feature. So we have a basic version of the product and a pro version of the product. With pro, you get the activity feed, you get our AI features, and you also get messaging. So I'll just show you the activity page first here. So this shows you who's looked at what and when. Um, Agents' clients always stay private to them, so the other agent never sees the other agent's client's identity. But you can see what they're looking at. And we've also applied some AI in here. So we give you the high level, 17 interested parties, 67 views, 5 downloads, etc. But when you click on summarize activity, the AI is going to comb through this entire activity feed. And if you guys ever had any properties with a significant amount of interest, you'll know that even having this activity feed and this kind of basic info is like not quite enough. You really have to stay on top of what's happening in the activity feed to understand who is specifically interested. So you'll see we've got 10 buyer agents. They list them here. Then you'll see activity level analysis. High activity, likely to submit offer. And I ended up getting 3 offers on this listing. And these were the 3 agents who wrote offers. And this was the agent who won the offer. Anyway, gives you some more insights here. So it's pretty cool, handy tool to have there, especially if you have a lot of interests on a property. The messaging feature, this allows you as the listing agent to send a message to everybody who has access to the package or just a few or select people. And you could, use this to announce anything like reiterate an offer date or set an offer date. You could announce a twilight tour, a lot of different use cases for that. We have the offers feature here. So only one offer actually came through the platform itself. But if you have multiple offers, they stack up side by side here. So this gives you a summary. And on the buyer agent side, the buyer agent experience when putting together an offer, AI helps them with the summary. So it reads the offer docs that that the buyer agent has uploaded, and then it suggests the summary to them. And then when we click into the offer, you can see the offer docs here that they've included. You can add notes to this. Oops. You can download. You can make changes if you've noticed that they have some error here after looking through it. And you can also message the agent. We're adding a small feature, which is going to be live in a week or so, which is just enabling the buyer agent to include a message to the listing agent, and that would show up like around here up at the top. On the settings page, one thing to note is that you have some control over the AI here. So one is you can index the files, and this means that you're like feeding the files in this property to the AI platform. So it'll be faster once somebody clicks on summary, for example, or asks a question, which I'm just realizing I didn't show you guys yet. So I'll show you that. And then the other thing you can do is give it a system prompt. So you could say when a buyer or buyer agent asks for a summary of the entire package, Uh, focus on the inspection reports or something along these lines. Save the instructions, and now the AI will take that into account whenever it's answering questions. Um, you could give a note that like if you have maybe like a document that's going to be updated, you could tell the AI, hey, this financial disclosure, we're getting a new one in a week, and like it'll include that in its response. Okay, let's look at some AI stuff though here real quick. So this is the general home inspection, and you'll see on every document there's a summary button. So when you click on the summary, this is going to pull up an AI generated summary of that inspection report. So this one really, pretty straightforward, is just focusing on the basics of the home, but still helpful. Electrical, 320 amp service, plumbing, the HVAC system, et cetera, et cetera. This property, there wasn't a whole lot in that inspection report, so it's a little bit shorter. You can also ask the AI questions. So notice that we have disclaimers in here. We have disclaimers here and on the summary. So, the idea with AI is that it's not replacing reading, but it is supposed to just help you scan through a package more quickly or get to specific information that you're looking for. So let's ask it, what is the electrical service of the property? So the AI will start scanning through everything, and it will give you references on its answers here, but it's going to come up with its own answer to this. So we'll just give it a minute and let it kind of go through, and then it will point you to the documents that you're looking for. Okay, so we asked it the question up here: what is the electrical service of the property? Main service, overhead service drop, so that's coming into the property up above. Here's the voltage, the amps, and all the details about it. Down here it says the source is the general home inspection, is where it got that. And if you click on view references, it looked through everything, but it points you right to the electrical system in the inspection report. So pretty cool. Currently in the mobile app, we have just the summary button, but we're also working on adding the Ask AI feature in there as well. Okay, let's just look quickly at a buyer side package. So this is a buyer side package, and should again look pretty similar. This one I wanted to show you because it's imported from disclosures.io. So we have the submit offer button. This just helps you put together an offer here, but if you go through the flow, you can't submit it back to disclosures.io. So if the agent is asking for disclosures, you could put it together, or sorry, asking for offers in disclosures, you could put it together here, but you need to download it and then upload it into disclosures.io. You can resync on demand. So just, if you open the package, it auto syncs anyway, but just to be sure, maybe you're going to download the cover sheet and you want to be sure you have the latest version. You could just hit the resync button there. You have your viewers tab. So you have your buyer here who you shared with, and then you see just the listing agent team. So they have 3 people on their team there. On the activity tab, you can see who's looked at what and when of your own click, of your own party. And if you want, again, you can you can use our offers compiling feature to put together an offer there. So you'll notice it has 2 cover sheets. And the first cover sheet, this is from disclosures.io, and we pull that in for like liability reasons, so you have that version. Um, but two, to also just like make it easier if you want to grab that cover sheet and use that one to submit with your offer. Okay, so every document here has a summary button, but that's about it. That's kind of standard for the buyer package, right? So we can hit the summary on this. This one's got 64,000 in pest uh, work that needs to be done. Kind of a lot. And then you'll see these new flags. So this package was updated recently, yeah, like an hour ago here. And you'll see it has all these flags marked as new. And this was updated in disclosures.io and then pulled in. Okay. Let me go through some of these other sections under your profile. So you have the properties tab, which is what we're on. We have your profile. So you can change your image here. You can enter your phone number, brokerage information, so on and so forth. You can put a team together if you'd like to have a team. We've got the billing page. So this is where you can manage your subscription and add a subscription if you'd like that. We have an access tab here. So if you work on a team or if you work with transaction coordinator or different TCs, you can share your account here. You just enter their name and email and hit share account. And then those people will get access to your account and they can create packages on your behalf. They can download buyer sides. They can basically manage the account as if it's you. The DocuSign connection, so you can manage that here. You can link your own account. You're also prompted if you hit the DocuSign package, the DocuSign button in the package. And then finally, the disclosures.io link. So you can link it here, or you can unlink it too if you wanted to unlink it. All right. We have the get help, as I mentioned. So if anybody needs help, this is the best thing to do. You can also email me at adam@propdisc.com or in here, send us a message. And this comes straight to myself and my teammates. We're pretty quick to respond there. All right. I think we could dive into some
Yeah, there's
questions.
a few that have come in while you've been presenting, and I've just been hanging on to them.
Okay.
But let's fly through them now. So let's go back to the feature you were talking about with its doing the look at the old Disclosures IO repository. You mentioned that there's a delay or a lag. Is it a cycle that's predictable, or is it just sort of like is it an hour they should expect that time to be? What do you think?
Yep. So it's essentially every 2 hours, start like during the daytime. And then at nighttime, it kind of shuts down. It's like the middle of the night. The system's not checking.
Gotcha.
But during the day, basically every 2 hours, PropDisc will check your disclosures.io account for any updates. Um, and so it'll pull in and you will be notified. So you might get two notifications. One notification from disclosures.io, and then two, a very similar notification from PropDisc where it lists the new documents that were changed or updated, and then points back to the package. And your buyers get that notification um, as well. And then the other thing that it does is when you open the package, it checks for a sync or it checks for an updates. So it just automatically does it for you. You can, of course, as I mentioned, hit the resync button here just to be sure. So we're kind of hitting it on all fronts for now.
Very cool. All right, next question up is, will there be a standard order? So when you were showing the different documents that were being added to a package and you can structure them, is there a standard order to them that will maintain a consistent way that they're sorted, or do you have to sort of manage that manually yourself?
You manage it yourself for now. We've been talking with TCs, and we might introduce like checklists, but it would be at the brokerage level. And we could probably do this for individuals too if people wanted that. But that's just kind of as far as we've gotten with that. So right now it's just free form.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And let's move on to the AI components because I think those are really fascinating. The first question about that is, can you only use that with the pro version, or is that included in the version that all SFAR members get at no cost?
It's pro only on the AI.
Okay.
Yep. All AI. Yep.
And with that said, I do think that the fact that you have an unlimited number of disclosure packages, even with the free version, did I hear that right?
That's right.
That's amazing. Good job. So the AI features, just to make sure you all caught that, you do have to upgrade to get some of those AI scanning features.
Yeah.
And then the
So that's
last question
summary and
here. Oh,
ask
go
AI.
ahead.
Yeah. I would just re-highlighting them. Summary and ask AI. Those are the primary AI features.
Very cool. And then the last question is, does it do document splitting? Can you tell the AI assistant to split documents? So imagine you've got a big package, 150 pages. Will it actually decompose them back into their component?
It, the AI won't do it on its own. But we could probably figure out how to at least like get it to give you a prompt. But it's really it is this. So you just go through it, and if you have a few pages up here, 1 through 5, save pages as new. I'll just click through a couple. I won't go through it. It gives you suggested names, but new file 1, save as new, and then maybe now you're looking at the rest of the documents. Maybe
Oh, it
you
removed them. When you saved as new, it pulled them out.
pull them to the side. Yep.
Excellent.
And then this is kind of the easiest one. So we try to make the thumbnails as big as possible, but you can increase the
Zoom
size.
in.
Yep. So you could tell it, okay, I know it's pages 1 to 12 is the next section. Save as new doc 2, pulls it out, and then you're left with the remaining.
And
Yeah.
there's no such feature in the old disclosures IO that does that I'm aware of.
There is a split, but it's not as you don't have the options that you do in this
With
one.
the page ranges and the cool controls.
Yeah.
That's really neat. One question I've got about oh, if you've also got Adobe, so just for people who maybe don't have that working right now, if you just have a version of Adobe Acrobat, it's actually got an online tool for doing some of that similar stuff too. I'm just going to drag a random thing in here and into the organized pages. So if you have an online Adobe Acrobat, there's an AI tool built into the online Adobe Acrobat now that you can ask to do those kinds of things. But that's because this is a product that's specialized in handling PDFs. So that there's an obvious reason why their software does that in an automated way. But yours, I like that it's more manual and you can sort of figure it out on your own. Plus, maybe the AI gets it wrong, and doing it manually means you'll always get it right. Is that AI or the page splitting feature that's in the free version? I'll get you to go back and share your screen again, please,
Yeah, yeah, that's this is a free version. Uh
with the splitting.
yes, correct.
Awesome. And then there's a cool. What was the cost be for the pro version? I think you may have addressed this. But let's tell everyone again.
Yeah, yeah. I think I skipped it actually. The pro version is 39 per month or $399 for the year. For this first year of launching the product, we're offering a 50% discount on the annual version. So if you use the code PropDisc forever, it's PropDisc forever, all one word, on the billing page at checkout. It takes
All
the
lowercase
it's not case sensitive, but just all one word. Um, it takes
forever.
prop disk forever.
Got it.
It takes the annual plan down from $399 to $199. So that's for your first year.
And let's see what's at the bottom here. Does the summary Ask AI appear for all buyers, or is that just an agent-facing feature?
It does, yes. So right now, the buyers also have AI features here. So they have the summary button and the Ask AI. We've had a lot of interesting discussion around the use of AI features, and one thing that keeps on coming up is that buyers, especially younger ones, are essentially taking these disclosures and putting them in Chat GPT or whatever online platform and just
Hmm.
looking at it at this like really broad like internet feedback level. So our goal here is to tailor this AI experience in this, agent providing tool where it's sort of boxed in here. So it's not, uh, kind of combing the internet for all possible answers, and it's really focused and specific, and it gives answers in a way like you would. So that's our long-term goal, and we like that. That means that we're tuning the AI features. And we also want feedback on this. So we've had some agents say, hey, can we have an on off switch for the summary for buyers or for the package as a whole? And so we're exploring all of these things. There's a lot to take into consideration with that stuff. Largely because lots of agents feel different ways. Like a listing agent may say, hey, I want to turn it off. But then a buyer agent's gonna say, hey, I want to turn them back on. So we've got to figure all that stuff out. But
Yeah.
feedback welcome on all of that front. But yes, buyers have the AI features too, just like the agents.
And to your point, I've also talked to a lot of agents who are just saying, "Oh, I just dump everything into ChatGPT and it tells me the answers of everything." I just want to warn people that if you're using ChatGPT or any of the commercially available products, maybe Gemini, if you're not paying for the version, you are agreeing that everything you put in through that interface can be added to its training models eventually. It doesn't happen overnight, but basically everything that you're dumping in there is being put into a data center, and it will form part of the training data after a period of time that is not determinate. So if you're using free products, just remember that you're the product if you're not paying for it. And your information is therefore being used to sell to others or to be used by others. So if you do choose to use one of the commercially available AI products, make sure you're buying those. And if you're going to use the one in PropDisc, this is going to keep it inside the account you're paying for. It's inside this interface. And like Adam says, it's not going to go out and try to grab additional information. It'll prevent some hallucinations and it'll keep your answers a little more focused on what's real relevant to your package.
Yeah, yeah, we want the AI to be an extension of you guys. Yeah,
Smart.
so it's something you feel really comfortable with your clients using, and like you're tethered to it as well. So this is just the
Awesome.
start of it. We could, obviously it can get a lot better over time.
Well, that concludes all of the questions that were posted. If anybody has any final questions, feel free to fire them into the Q&A. But Adam, this was really phenomenal. Thank you for showing us that feature
Yeah,
that lets you bring in the packages from the other sort of the legacy, what's becoming the legacy product. There was an interesting question there that I typed an answer for the person, but I'll explain a little too, and maybe you and I can
sure.
talk about it.
Yeah.
When HomeLight bought DIO, they chose not to add new features. They've maintained it and it works, and people can keep using it if they want to. SFAR is not going to, take it away or anything like that. But they
Yeah.
just quit adding new features to it.
Yeah, yeah. From what we can tell, I mean, even since we were there after the acquisition, it's not being updated. So like it's
Right.
running, but it's kind of sitting in the back room, sort of being ignored. Yeah.
What I think is cool about PropDisc is these AI looking features and the fact that you're even thinking about where do we go from here and how do you make this product amazing for our users that are here. There's a huge user base in the NorCal region that's they're all going to need this product. So focusing here makes sense to us, and we're happy to have you on board.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much. Yeah, we're excited.
All right. Well, I don't see any other questions in the Q&A. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. Everyone, thank you so much for having a little time today. We're going to make sure that we answer any additional questions that come in after the fact. This webinar is going to get cleaned up a little bit by our communications person, and it's going to show up on the YouTube channel, SFAR Social. So if you're not following us on SFAR Social, you should definitely go to YouTube and find us there. Oh, one more question. Can you do double stamps, as in more than one stamp at a time?
Yeah, for sure. You could do as
Yeah.
many as you
As many
and
as you want.
you could do all the other annotation features all at the same time and hit save, and they all show up.
Awesome. And so, Adam, thanks again for coming out today, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Bye.